Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Makes Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, we are back with another original versus remake, and this week it was It. So we looked at the 1990 TV series, because for once I actually own all of these physically. And we looked at the 2017 and 2019 remake, because obviously the remake was done in two parts, so we've got two separate films. So I'm going to bulk the two films together along with the 3-hour film we got here as well. So if you are new to this series, basically I get you guys involved as well. So I put a poll out on the community for the week, and I'll let you guys decide which one you prefer, whether it's the original or the remake. You guys went for the remake, which quite surprised me, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking maybe you guys were gonna go more of the original route. I mean, there was a lot more votes this time around for this episode, and say it was, the original did get quite a bit of love, but the remake just got that bit more. But of course, with this series, I start with you guys, but then I also then talk about my feelings. So I'm going to put this across as well. This is my first time watching the original. I tried to watch the original a couple of years ago, got 10 minutes into it, couldn't fully get into it. So this was the first time watch. This was a full-on, sat there for 3 hours and watched it. Whereas these two, I've seen before. So yeah, so let's get into it. Let's start by talking about the original. So just to give you a very quick plot summary, obviously this is a classic film, so pretty much everyone knows roughly what the plot is. But basically you have Pennywise the clown here, who's haunting the town of Derry, and basically he's going after these group of kids called the Loser Club. And you've got this bully, and basically there's a whole bunch of characters trying to deal with Pennywise the clown. I'm not going to say any more on that, apart from the fact of we also do get to see adult versions of these kids. So it does go back and forth with both films about the adults and the kids. But yeah, so that's just a very quick basic plot summary. I try not to spoil things too much, try not to go into too much detail. But yeah, so this was a first time watch for me. And I'm surprised I really enjoyed it. I'm quite shocked. I weren't sure how much I was going to get into this, especially like I said, I did try to watch this a couple of years ago, got 10 minutes into it, couldn't fully get into it. Maybe because I knew for a fact it was 3 hours long, and me and my friend were watching it at the time. I think we were watching it like late at night, so I probably thought, don't feel like getting really into it. But this is the one that stars Tim Curry as Pennywise. This is one of his more well-known roles for him, and I can see why, because not gonna lie, Pennywise did creep me out a bit at points, but he made me laugh more than anything, because it was a case of his laugh where he's like, you know, that laugh that just made me laugh. But what I love about this is that there's hardly any CGI or special effects. This is what I love about 90s and 80s movies, is that they rely on practical effects more than they do CGI. So Pennywise, he looked really creepy, he was colourful, he is very clown-like, especially in the outfit, like they went for a classic clown look, whereas with the remake, he is a clown, but he looks more demonic. So with this one, he's definitely more of a, if you were to see him around town, you'd think it was just an ordinary clown, not some kind of creepy thing. But I like the characters in this. I knew Seth Green was in this, who played Oz in Buffy, and I will say his voice sounds so deep in this compared to Oz. I sort of got thrown back by it. John Ritter was in this as well, so there was quite a few actors that I did recognise in this. I think the characters were fun and enjoyable. I do like the fact that they went back and forth, sort of like from when the kids were little to when they were grown-ups, and sort of like they showed all the interactions with Pennywise and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, not a bad film. And you know what? I would add this to my October watch list. It would be one of those ones that I'll try and watch every Halloween, but if I don't get round to it, it's fine. but I definitely will add it to my list because I had a good time with this. Like I said, it did creep me out at points. And yeah, Tim Curry just did an amazing job with this. So I just, honestly, it's just his laugh that made me laugh. It's kind of like Freddy Krueger when I watched him growing up, he creeped me out. But then when he did that run down the alleyway, when I watched it in full finally, I kind of laughed, and then it kind of made it not scary anymore. So I will say, if you're afraid of clowns, don't watch this, because obviously he is pretty creepy in this, not gonna lie. But no, this was a really good film, and like I said, I will definitely be watching this again. But now, let's talk about the remake. So this is the one I had seen before the original because this came out in cinemas and I decided to give this a watch. So this one's got Bill Skarsgård in it, Finn Wolfhard, some other kid actors that I don't know their names. They don't say on here, which is helpful. So this is split into two parts. So this first part here that I'm showing you, I'm not going to show you the second part. The first part I'm showing you is when they were kids. So this is the full-on, no back and forth with the kids and adults thing. This is basically focused on what the kids did during that summer when they were dealing with Pennywise. And then part 2 is when they are grown-ups and they're dealing with Pennywise as the grown-ups themselves. Because it's been 27 years since they were kids, and they obviously the cycle is every 27 years. But with part 2, they do flash back to kid scenes a little bit just to help sort of like connect dots and things like that. So I am going to talk about both films as sort of like a generalistic one movie. But yeah, so you got Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the dancing clown. Yeah, it's Bill Skarsgård. I get confused with Alexander, and yeah, there's so many Skarsgårds. But yeah, so Bill, I will say, creeped me out a lot more than Tim Curry's one, but I think because Tim Curry was more of a comedic clown than this one, because he did have some funny lines in this, and he did make me laugh a bit, but he creeped me out more than anything else, especially the fridge scene where he's coming out and he's all discombobulated and, you know, things like that. So in general, Bill Skarsgård, I will say, was better in the first part than the second part, because I feel like the second part didn't really do him justice, is the best way to explain it. Yeah, a bit of a weird way to explain it, but yeah, so for me, he was really good in the first part, but the second part, he was okay. It just, I felt like the script was a little bit different. I don't know. But yeah, so both parts were really enjoyable. I do enjoy both parts. I will say enjoy part 1 more than part 2, and I think it's because part 2 relies more on the comedy, because you do have comedic actors in this, like Bill Hader, you've got James McAvoy, you've got Jessica Chastain, you've got the guy from the Beauty and the Beast TV show, the remake. So there was a lot of actors in this that I know more of. But overall, the fact that it was 2 parts, I think it's pretty cool, because at least that way you didn't feel like you were stuck there for pretty much 4 hours, because both films were 2 hours. So I didn't feel like, you know, there was a lot to take in. And I think they divided the parts out equally. I like how it was kids first, then adults. But I will say my only issue is the ending. So when you watch the ending to the original It TV series, it feels rather epic. Whereas with this one, it does feel epic, but just not great. And to me, it's more of the case of how they defeat Pennywise at the end of part 2 that I'm sort of like, on. Like, I get where they were coming from with it. But for me, it's just like, it was a bit of an odd ending to the film. But like I said, both parts are really good. I suggest watching both parts if you want to see the full story, because, like I said, the 2 parts I think was a good idea. But no, I really enjoyed the remake. This is one of very few remakes that are either just as good as the original or maybe even better. So it's one of those things that remakes can either be hit or miss, and this one was a hit for me, so I probably will do a top 10 remakes list at some point, but I just need to watch some more remakes before I can do that. But no, for a modern adaptation of this film, well, this book, it did a really good job, and I'd say I really enjoyed this film, and I'd definitely add all 3 films to my watch list for October, 100%. But the big question is, which one do I prefer? Do I prefer the original or the remake? Now, I'm not going to lie, it is very close. It is literally maybe like a couple of points behind each other, because I feel amazing about both films. I did get enjoyment out of both films. Both films creep me out at points. But if I'm going to have to be completely honest, I'm going to be with you guys on this one, and I'm going to go with the remake. I really enjoyed this film. Creepy as hell. Bill Skarsgård did an amazing job. Kids did an amazing job. The adults that they got to play the kids as well, I think did amazing. Honestly, the original was good, but for me, I think I am going to definitely have to go for this one. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments and thoughts on the It movies. Did you enjoy them? Did you not enjoy them? What's the scene that most stuck out to you? Because, I mean, for me, in the original, it's the library scene with Tim Curry. But with the remake, it is the whole him coming out with the fridge and all discombobulated and ugh. No, thank you. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.